Everybody, and welcome back to the channel for another LEGO review. So I'm a little late on the June 1st wave. I placed the order exactly at midnight on June 1st and I was super excited. My local LEGO store is over an hour away, and especially when I work the next day in the morning, I can't exactly go in person for these things. So I always order them just because of like scheduling and distance and stuff like that. And I ordered the biggest wave I've ever bought, and it came to a little over $900 for everything, and I'm super excited for it. And unfortunately, so on June 3rd, I believe it was, I got the email and said your packages will be delivered tomorrow, June 4th. And I'm recording this on June 6th. I got the email and it said, hey, your packages are out for delivery tomorrow. I said, cool, that's going to be great. And then I get an email an hour later saying, we've encountered problems on the road. My UPS truck, I think, broke down somewhere in Ohio on the way to Pennsylvania. And I'm like, oh no. So I had to wait a few days to actually get everything. So I've been recording some videos, but then I didn't really want to record, like, I wanted to do the bodega that I'm currently trying to work on, but then it's like I don't want to start a background project because then it looks like, it's just, I don't know. I don't like changing the background in between. I'm trying to do more of like in-person talking, not just staring in a box too. So I'm trying to shape some things up for the next, like the rest of this year essentially, and then moving forward. But it was a fantastic wave. June 1st is amazing. And I've also realized something. I don't have a Fantastic Four shirt, so I've got to get one of those for the movie. But today we're going to be starting very first one for the June 1st wave, the Marvel Fantastic Four versus Galactus construction figure. I'm a huge Silver Surfer and Galactus fan, and honestly, it's not well represented behind me in the Marvel wall. A lot of Spider-Man. But I'm excited for this movie. I'm nervous for this movie. I don't know how it's going to be, but honestly, the only complaint for this set that I've seen online is the Thing, and I don't think they're wrong. Like, it's tough, and I want to see it in person, like once I build it, and I'll talk to you guys about it after the fact. But essentially, instead of making him a big fig or like some sort of medium figure or mold, they made him like a weird actual minifigure. I don't know. We'll see how it looks. This is a set I could see me getting two of at some point, but it's fantastic. It retails for $60, of course, has the Fantastic Four, the buildable Galactus, and comes with 427 pieces. So in terms of Marvel IP and pricing, honestly, it's probably the best we've had in a bit. So I am super excited for this one. It was a tough debate on what to build first, but I'm trying to do a couple of the smaller sets before I get into like the Great Tower from Hogwarts, because that's going to take a while. Then I have the Krusty Burger down there, so it's going to be really exciting. By now I'll have posted the picture of me with all my sets. So those are all the sets that you guys get to look forward to, except for one, which is a gift from my mother for her birthday. But I'm super excited for this. I've wanted a Galactus set for a very, very long time, and I know the lighting's probably not the best over here, but I am working on it. But yeah, I'm super excited. Apologize that I am late on the June 1st wave. Trust me, it irritates me too. But life happens, it's not the end of the world that my Lego delivery was late. So thank you all so much for joining me. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If not, welcome back. We have tons and tons of Legos in here, so if you guys are interested, I'll have links to a bunch of the descriptions below. Our other playlists between the City, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, all that other good stuff. Follow me on Instagram and Get Bricked if you guys want to see a sneak peek into all the other things that I build. There's a lot of them. Now let's get started on this one, folks. Alright everybody, so here is the final build. Overall, the actual building techniques for the Galactus was really, really solid in terms of the size-wise. He's really similar to a relatively reasonably priced mech from Ninjago. I don't think it's the same size as the bigger ones, but right around like the $40 to the $80 range, he's about the exact same size, so he would work if you are like a mech collector or anything like that and you're interested in him. Definitely a pretty cool, like size comparison there in my opinion. As somebody who has a lot of mechs and like bionicles and stuff, he would work out pretty well in scale. As for the minifigures, we'll start with the controversial one first, which is of course Ben Grimm, aka The Thing. I don't mind the head. I can get over the helmet. I can get over that. But like, it just looks so awful in terms of the hands. I really don't like the hands at all. Honestly, you could almost rock it without, and it might look almost a little bit better. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. I honestly, most people aren't. try and snap that back on there. Like, it's fine, I guess, but just not what I was looking for. I really wish they would have just done a custom mold. Same thing with the headpiece. Like, if you could have just done a mold for him like you did Davy Jones or Atlantis, or even like the Ninjago figure, just anything, like, it would have looked so much better. But, you know, we got the Thing, you know. I would have also preferred like comic book Thing a little bit more than this, but hey, it's for the movie. It is what it is. I won't complain too much. You know, I never like to, you know, give a lot of negativity in my reviews unless I can really help it. Marvel happens to just kind of be the more negative theme at this point for some stuff. Then we move on to typically my favorite member of the Fantastic Four, which is Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch. Now, the only thing I didn't include for him is the flames on the bottom here, just because it obviously wouldn't have sat in here. These are, of course, Flick Fire, which can go flying, if pun intended, if you really want it to. I think they nailed the hairpiece. They did a really, really nice job in the hairpiece for that figure. Again, you know, nitpicking there, but I think they did a super nice job. In terms of the coloration on the costumes, I really like them as well. Then moving on to Sue Storm, aka the Invisible Woman. Not too much that you could have done for her, but I really do like the translucent figures there, or I'm sorry, the actual like shields here. I think it looks really nice. Hairpiece again, facial expression for Vanessa Kirby looks pretty solid. So overall, well done. And then last but not least, we have the, I would say, second most awkward figure of this entire set, Reed Richards. The legs are interesting, like, they serve their purpose, but it does look really silly. Now, of course, if you don't like the leg extensions, you can pop them off and just use Pedro Pascal or Reed Richards here, if you really wanted to do that. So, depending on how I display this, I might leave it that way. These are just, you know, a couple column pieces and then a couple of the curve slopes, but it's okay. Like, you know, overall, like, the minifigure I like. Again, this is movie version, rather than comic book Reed, so of course it's going to look a little bit different, but overall still a better figure than the Thing, in my opinion. Then last but not least, one of my absolute favorite Marvel characters, we have Galactus here, the World Devourer, the big man himself, or the big G, depending on which form you're reading for the nerd knowledge for the day. I like it. It's really solid. I would have loved an even bigger version of this at some point, but hey, it is what it is. Maybe we'll get a Galactus bust if we're really good to Lego. I'm just kidding. They'll never make that, but it would be really cool. Now, he has a couple of the little 1x1 style pieces on his feet. That is so you can actually have the minifigures like they're either jumping on him or fighting with him. Same thing for the hands. If you want one of them to be stuck in his palms, you can add a minifigure to those as well, and that's not exclusive to one side. It is available on both. In terms of the coloration, it is extremely unique, and I definitely do think that they nailed all the color aspects of it. Now, there's a couple stickers here and there, but nothing too noticeable in my opinion. Like, they honestly don't look like stickers for any portion of it, and then there's the printed piece, which is his face. In terms of the background, again, pretty similar to the exact front. The only main difference here is if you want one of the minifigures, most likely Johnny Storm, to be flying around the outside, you can have him kind of in a display pose. The only reason I didn't do so was so I could cover the minifigure separately. But overall, Galactus definitely does not fall short, in my opinion. I think it's overall a pretty nice set. It's a little pricey, but overall, I mean, 4 exclusive minifigures and the first Galactus, I'm okay with the price point, that like $50 to $60 mark, because let's be realistic, you know, you can probably order these pretty soon off of Amazon and they'll be a little bit cheaper. So while it's not the perfect price point for everybody, it is what it is, and you kind of got to take the battles where they are. But I'm relatively happy with the price point for this set. Again, could be a little bit less, but so could every Lego set. And for Marvel, I feel like I'm getting more bang for my buck here than I did like the Red Hulk, Captain America Brave New World set. So overall, I am really happy with this set. I think they did a really solid job. Thankfully that, you know, the big man here is finally available in Lego form. Now, if only they included the Silver Surfer in some way, but oh well. It is what it is. At least we got here. So, you know, the Silver Surfer and Doctor Doom, of course, will be missing from this lineup. The Silver Surfer has never had a Lego set. However, Doctor Doom has one minifigure, which I haven't looked, but is probably getting more and more expensive by the day, especially with like this set coming out. But that's going to do it for this build, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me for another build. Like I said before, this is the very first one for my June 1st wave, so I was super, super excited to finally get this build. And, you know, sorry for the delay with everything else. But if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you found it fun, entertaining, helpful, or anything like that. And if you're interested in checking out more Legos outside of here, you can follow me on Get Bricked, and you can follow me as well on Instagram, of course. I also just started a TikTok, which God only knows how I'm going to manage, 3 Instagrams, a TikTok, 2 YouTube channels, and everything else with a full-time job. But hey, that's what monsters are for at 1 in the morning that I'm currently... I lied, this video is being finished at 2 in the morning, fun fact, with a monster in one hand and reviewing in the other. But that's going to do it, guys. Thank you all so much. Let me know in the comments section below how you like this set, and if you're going to go see Fantastic Four, and I'll see you next time. Happy building, everybody.